has the recording. All right. So on percent of increase or decrease, you subtract. So 2,400 minus 1,680. Okay, so what do we get? 2,400 minus 1,680. 720, yep. Okay, so remember the formula is the change divided by the original amount. Change divided by the original amount. So this is my change. What was the original TV 5 years ago?
720. Oh, no, I got it. 2,400.
Yes, 2,400. So remember, a fraction means to divide. So you're going to take the 720 and you're going to divide it by 2,400. And what do we get? Talivia, Oliver's not in either.
He's not in?
Nope.
Oliver, get in class right now. Miss Lavelle, I got 0.3.
Okay, and then how do I convert that to a percent?
It's times 100.
Okay, so what happens if I take 0.3 and multiply it by 100? What do I get?
30.
Yep. So 30% is the decrease amount. Okay, and I know like yesterday the video said it was negative 30%. So if you want to write it that way, you can. Or you can just write that it was a decrease of 30%. Okay? Writing it as negative 30 lets the people know that it was a decrease. Percent change of decrease. Okay? Alright, so let's move to the next one. Any questions on that one? Alright, number 2. So it says Antone made $33,284 last year. He received a 4.5 annual raise. What will his new salary be for the coming year? So we know what? We know what did he end up with, right? Or actually, what did he start with? So we don't know the change, but we do know the original amount, and we do know the percent. So as a decimal, that is this. Okay, so those are the things that we know. So how am I going to figure out this change? How do I get rid of this right here?
So divide 33,284 by 45.
Kinda. You're kinda on the right track. This is already being divided, right? Change divided by this. So I want change by itself. Yes, I don't know who said multiply, but good job. So in order to get rid of this, I'm going to have to multiply each side by the 33,284. And what happens is that right there goes away. Okay, so somebody multiply it.
multiply 33,284 by 45.
By 0.045.
So I got 1,497.78.
Okay, so that equals 1,400. And you said 78? Okay. So that is the amount of change. All right, so let's go back and see what the question says. What will his new salary be for the coming year? So this is his pay raise. So if this is what he made last year and this is how much he's increasing, what do I need to do to find out what he's doing this year?
Add it to the original.
Yeah, go back and add it. So 33,284 plus $1,497.78. And what do we get?
I got 34,781.78.
Y'all type too fast.
34,000, yep, $781.78. Yes. That is the answer.
Miss Lavelle,
Uh-huh.
is Oliver in class?
Yes, he's here.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions on number 2? None? All right. Let's look at number 3. A scientist observes and counts 155 bacteria in the culture. Later, the scientist counts again and finds the number has increased as shown. How many bacteria are there now? All right, so we know the original, but we don't know the what. It's the same as the last one.
Change.
Yeah, so we're just going to let that represent C, right? So C divided by 155.
155.
Yep. And what does that equal?
40%.
Yep. And as a decimal, it's 0.40. Yep. So what do we need to do? Multiply. Yep. I heard someone say multiply. So multiply this by 155. Multiply this side by 155. And when I do that, that goes away. So the change is what?
6.2.
6.2?
62.
Yeah, it should be 62. 155 times 0.4. Yeah, I got 62. Okay, so that's the change. So what do I need to do with that?
Multiply by the original,
No. Not multiply by the original.
but divide it.
So try to add it.
We got to add it. Right? If this was the original, this is the amount of increase. They want to know what is the total now. So
217.
155 plus 62 is 217. Yep. Exactly. All right. What about 4?
Can you let me read it?
Sure.
The number of veggie burgers sold at a restaurant in Houston, Texas was 425 in April. The number sold in May was 16% less than the number sold in April. How many veggie burgers were sold in May?
Okay, so how would I set it up? What are we missing?
Our original?
I think we have the original. Isn't this the original? Right, the number of veggies was 425 in April, and then we.
Listen, let us know how much it made, like, well, how many veggie burgers they sold in May.
Right. So this is the original, right? Because it goes April, May. So, and we know it's going to be a decrease, right? So it should be smaller. So set the equation up. We're missing the change. Divided by what?
The original.
Which is?
425.
Yep. And that equals what?
16%.
Okay, so how do I write that?
Oh my gosh.
Point what?
Hold on. 0.16.
Yep. All right, so how do I get 425? How do I get C by itself? What do I need to do with that 425?
Multiply.
Yep. So this goes away. So my change is what?
6,800.
Mm, 68. So 0.16 times, what was it, 425? Should just be 68.
Oh.
You must be typing something in. You're getting the answer, but your decimal points are wrong. Okay, so now what do I need to do? It's a decrease, right?
That's 68 from 45.
Yes, so 425 minus 68. And the reason why it's minus is because they're telling me it is a change.
I got 357.
Hold on, I had to let somebody in. 357, is that what you said?
Yes.
Yep. So that equals 357. Okay, good. All right, what about number 5?
Okay, number 5. You want me to read it?
Sure.
A warehouse worker fills 150 orders per day on average. From day to day, the number of orders varies by 2%. What is the range of the number of orders the workers fills each day?
All right, so what are we missing?
We're missing the range and number of orders.
Right, we're missing the change, right?
The change?
Yeah, we're missing the change. We don't know, we don't have the new. We have a warehouse worker fills 150 orders per day on average. From day to day, the number of orders varies by 2%. What is the range of, this one's a little different. What is the range of the number of orders the workers will fill each day? So now, this is giving us that variance. Remember we talked about if you cut a board and you make a mistake, do we have a little wiggle room to make it a mistake? So we need to find what is that variance. So to find that variance, we take what the original amount is and we're going to multiply it by the 2%. And 2% as a decimal is 0.02. Okay, so multiply that out. 3. So it can vary by 3. So that means I gotta add it.
153.
Yep, and then I need to subtract it.
sorry, Miss Lavelle, I'm back.
Okay.
Oh, it's 147.
147. So that means that the warehouse can fill anywhere between 153 and 147 packages or orders, whatever. So can fill between 150 or 153, right? And 147 orders per day. That's what that means. Okay? All right. What about 6? What do we have?
It says find the percent change from 96 to 93. State whether it is an increase or a decrease.
Okay. So, how can we tell if it's an increase or decrease?
We can tell if the numbers are going up or down.
Yeah, absolutely. If my number is 96 and I went to 93, is that an increase or a decrease?
That's a decrease.
Yeah. So we're going to write decrease here. So we know that's a decrease. And what do we do? So the formula is change over original. And that equals
96.
the percent. Alright? So what is my change?
96.
So we should...
3.
Yeah, so my change is 3. We're going to divide it by what?
100.
What was my original?
96.
96. Now we do the operation. 3 divided by 96, and what's my percent?
32. I mean 3.2.
So we get a weird decimal, don't we? So 3 divided by 96. Yeah. So we get 0.03125. Okay. So how many places do I need to move it? 1, 2, right? So I would say, you were close, Olivia, I would say 3.1%. Because this is a 2 and not a 5. If it was a 5, I would have rounded it to 3.2. And then it would be what? A decrease. Okay, what about number 7? What about number 7? What do I need to do? Well, it's percent of change, isn't it? So is it an increase or a decrease? If this is my original amount, am I going higher or lower?
Higher.
Yeah, so it's an increase. I still can find the difference. So what's the difference?
It's 28.
Yeah, 60 minus 32. What was the original? What did I start with?
32.
Yeah. So what do I get?
28.
Divided by 32?
Oh, wait.
0.875.
Yeah, so I get 0.875. 1.75. How do I make that into a percent?
Times 100.
Okay. And what do I get?
87.5.
Yes, thank you. Was that you, Julian? Or was that Terrion? Good job. Whoever it was.
me.
Good job. Okay, so, and it is an increase. All right, what about number 8?
Find the range to allow. Find the range of allowable values based on the measure of 130 inches, if the values can vary by 1.4%.
Okay, so here's our key word, range, right? So it is just like number 5. So what did we do on number 5?
Yeah, we saw a dead body.
Yeah, we multiplied, right? So 130 times what?
Times 1.4.
Okay, and how do I make that a decimal?
You divide by 100.
Okay, and what do we get?
We get 0.014.
Okay, so multiply it out.
1.82.
Okay, so that means that it can vary by 1/8200ths. So what do I need to do with that?
Subtract and add both sides.
Yep. Subtract and add both sides. So 130 plus 1.82 and 130 minus. So what do we get?
131.82.
And then what is this one?
128.18.
Yep. So that means it can be between 131.82 and 128.18. All right, last one, number 9. In Carey's basketball career, he's made 80% of his free throws, plus or minus 5%. If he attempts free throws this session, what is the range of successful free throws he can expect to make? Show your calculation. So this one's twofold, right? So he attempted 200, but he only makes how many? So he attempts 200. What's the percent?
80%.
Yep.
And 5%.
Right? So basically, so this is what we have, right? We don't know the change. We know that he attempts 200, and we know that that is 80%, correct?
Yes.
All right, so we end up having to multiply.
280 times 200 times 80.
0.80. 0.80.
It's 1/6.
Okay,
60.
so he, of the 200, he only makes 160. Right? So now it's telling me of these 160, my variance is 5%. So how do I find that between? What does he make? So this one's like 8 and 5. What did we do? Yeah, multiply by what?
5%.
Yep, which is 0.05, right?
Equals 8.
80.
Equals 8 or 80? I got two answers.
Equals 8.
Yes, it should be 8. All right, now what do I do?
Subtract it.
Okay. And what do I get? 150 something.
Oh, wait. Hold on. 152.
Yep, 152. And then what else do I got to do with it?
And
Yep.
168.
Yep. So that means in a normal game, he will make between 152 and 168. Or in a season. Okay? All right. So, either you can download the form from Teams, right? So if I go back to Teams, here's the form here, and the form is here, where it says retake 7.RP.1.3, and it is in Seesaw. So what you're going to have to do in Seesaw is leave that document open until it's 100% complete, okay? So you are only working on problems 1 and 2 of the test. 1 and 2 are just like what we did. Okay? Any questions? Any?
You're breaking up.
Okay, so what I was saying is your retake test, you can either download from Teams. You can see the Teams page, right? It's right here. I can click on it, 7.RP.1.3, or I can click on it here. And it is in Seesaw. If you do it in Seesaw, do not hit submit. You will have to leave the document open until it's 100% complete. Okay? And the same thing if you download it from Teams, just download it to your computer and save it until it's finished. But you're only working on problems 1 and 2.
Okay.
Okay? That is it. Are there any questions?
No.
All right. So you have 11 minutes, yep, to work on problems 1 and 2, and it is just like what we just did. All right, also, guys, only 16 of you finished the test. Only 16 of you finished the test. So if you are logged in, the test is open. You need to log back into Performance Matters and finish that test. Do what? Who was that?
I'm doing the test right now.
Okay, who is that that's telling me that?
Julian.
Oh, Jillian. Okay, thank you. Sorry, it wasn't giving me the purple ring around your face. It was weird.
Do we have to show the equation, or do we just put the answers?
I would show your work. That way, I can see the process. If the answer is wrong, I can see where you went wrong and maybe issue some partial credit. I would show work.
Miss Lavelle,
Yes, ma'am.
I didn't finish the test.
Okay. Well, at this point, though, Talivia, I would. You'll probably do better just on the retake. I mean, unless you really want to finish the test and see, how you do. You're more than welcome to do that. I only had 3 people that were in the yellow. Everybody else was in the red. And even yellow's not that good.
Okay.
Okay, but once we're done with all the reteaching stuff, you will keep the higher of the 2 grades. So if you do better on this test, then this is the test that the grade that you will keep. Okay? Yep. But if people don't take either one of them, then I have no grades and it's a 0. So that tells me that they're not even paying attention when they log in.
Wait, Miss Lavelle,
Uh-huh.
you said we do better on this one. You gonna put this in?
Yes. I will always keep the higher of the 2. And I will probably post the data tomorrow anyway, so if you actually finish the test, I'll post the data with the test questions, just so you guys can see what you got right or wrong. Okay? That way, if you need more practice, you can get some more practice. Yeah, so Taylor, I see so guys, there are probably two assignments that say retest. I assigned it, and then I did something and then came back, and I didn't know if I assigned it or not, so I assigned it. So just do one of them, one of the 2. Make sure you work on if you're in Seesaw.